And part of me feels bad about having to kill other Ekons, but they attacked me first, so you know, I'm gonna defend myself. Well, I think I attacked him first, but even if I just stood there, he would have attacked me, so I had to defend myself. I'm pretty sure that way is blocked, so I had to go up this way.
Watch yourselves! There's one of them!
Why aren't they attacking each other?
Stupid thing! Fuck, he's dead!
As many points as I could have because that monster killed the guy I needed. I'm going the wrong direction, but I guess I'll just open this gate while I'm down this direction. So it's unlocked. Alright. This way through this alley. No, this.
Alice! Alice!
Anyway, it'll make the color happy.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
Better go. You went from the
These guys are really high level. Jeez Louise. I'm just a measly 21 and they're at 27 and all that. Jeez. Heck. Heck. Heckin' heck. I forgot that they were so high, such high level threats on this part of the map. Let's open this gate. It's Whitechapel.
The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
Trust the leech boys! Fight for this! Back in the ground!
The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
Towards the equality between men and women!
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me. and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Perhaps it's wise for a mortal never to totally trust a vampire. Your mother herself told me that we Ekon are creatures of deception. Maybe it's because we seem so... alive.
That may be true for a naive girl. But I have the best teacher when it comes to getting rid of an insistent immortal.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
Why do you still hope to become a vampire, in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Oh, welcome, Mohammed. And yeah, it's a good game. I've been playing it. Well, I recently got into it. I've been playing it a lot lately. I took a small break, like on my own personal time. I've been playing other games lately, but I am playing this one on stream because it's a lot of fun for me.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Stop playing this game at once, Charlotte. This is unworthy of you, of your mother, and of myself.
I'm sorry, Dr. Reed. Please forgive me. That was stupid.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
I'm hungry. Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
I mean, yeah, it can be boring to some people, but for people who like the story aspect over like the combat and like exploring different options and stuff and character, like I like how all of the characters you meet in this game are unique. Every single citizen you talk to is unique. They all have like different interests and stuff. It's really cool to see how far the RPG genre has come, or just how NPCs have come. Cause like I was playing Jack and Daxter the Precursor Legacy earlier today, and they don't have a lot of NPCs in that game, but each of the characters are very unique. And like this one, they have a lot of characters, or not a lot, but like a decent amount, and a lot of them, every single one is different. Like they have their own motivations, they have their own things that'll turn them, like that'll close off hints, or you know, I just think it's a very fun gameplay that I wish more games would implement, because I'd have a lot of fun that way.
I'm afraid the newspapers are seriously underestimating the situation. Things are critical, believe me.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
Well, like, this is a 2018 game, so it's a little old. It's not as not as old as like the Jack and Daxter games, but it's old. It like I know there's some games that have a lot of original characters, or that their characters are unique. Some of the ones some of the ones that I really want to play that I know have unique characters, I can't play because they're either not on my console or I don't have the right console for them. Like Baldur's Gate 3. I know I say it a lot, but like I really want Baldur's Gate 3, but I don't have the money for the console or the computer. My current computer that could play it isn't available to work, or it hasn't been working for the last several months, for pretty much since summer started back in like May, because the battery went out. So I'm using a different computer that's not mine, so I can't play that game because it doesn't have the right system. But I'm hoping to get a PS5 and then I can play it on my console. But it'll be a couple months before I'm able to pay for it, because console is a PlayStation 5 console. The one that I'm looking at is the $500 one, and then the game itself is like $60. I could get the game like in a month or something, but the console would take more time, and I want to get the console before I get the game. Does that make sense? But I have to wait for it. It'll be a while.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good games on the PS5. Like, ever since Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart came out, I've wanted to play it. But of course, I only have the PS4, so I can't play it. So that's one of the games that's on my list for the PS5. I think also on that was Jedi Survivor. Obviously Baldur's Gate 3. I wanted to get it's not out yet, but the Spider-Man one that's coming out, Spider-Man 2. I haven't played like completion to the first Spider-Man, but I do own it, and I do own the Miles Morales one. So I will be probably playing those trying to play them before I play the second game. But I'm pretty sure there's other games, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head that are PlayStation 5 exclusive. Like, in terms of I can't play them on PS4. Ooh, I think I wanted to play Hogwarts Legacy on PS5 because it'll be smoother running.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
London's Lone Gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell. I'm sure you'll take care of yourself.
Remember, don't let any strangers come into your house.
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
Yeah, I actually did, I started a PlayStation 4 playthrough for Spider-Man, but I only started at the very beginning, and then I got distracted with other games that I was playing, so I just didn't continue.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from
I'll get
each
to
other.
play it again.
And so many things have happened.
I definitely plan to play it on my stream, because I feel like it'd be a lot more interesting to watch me play it on stream than me to just play it by myself. I think when I was originally streaming it, I was streaming on YouTube, and I stopped streaming on YouTube, and I stream on Twitch, and then I upload to YouTube. So, if you ever miss out on, a video and it's not clipped or anything, you can always go to check out the YouTube, or if I ever miss something out on the YouTube, you miss out on Twitch, you can always, try to watch Twitch for the next, 60 days. It'll disappear after that. But, I haven't uploaded much to my YouTube lately, but I try to clip the videos to, a 30-minute segment. Between, around 20-ish minutes to, an hour. That's my usual length. Sometimes I do longer depending on the clip or the video that I'm recording. But I will put them on the YouTube, so people can read them in smaller chunks or binge watch in smaller chunks instead of watching the entire stream.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece, and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
I should. I have a. Wait, I think I have a thing for migraine.
Good
Let's see
evening,
if I
old
can
chap.
heal him up.
Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
keep
a well
yawning.
man.
I wasn't really tired, but I've just had a very busy
Do you
day at
need
work.
medical assistance, Clarence?
And
It's
then
a
I
little
had to
late for
stream.
visiting hours,
Because
don't you think?
it's I stream between like 10 and midnight usually on Friday nights. And so like I don't feel tired, but I keep yawning. Oh, I don't
I
have
will
the
see you later.
migraine. I'll have to
You
go
need
make
some
it.
rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
I know where to get it though. Jeez. I'm gonna go inside it. Yeah, I will probably go to I usually do go to sleep after streaming. Hi there, sir.
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Oh no, you're fine. I just when I'm streaming, I don't like to talk when I'm during the characters are talking because it like interrupts their conversation. But I don't mind talking to chat. It helps like make my streams more interesting. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here talking to myself or I'm being quiet because I don't know what to talk about. I went to the wrong. Okay.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I'm sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir. So my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
You really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
This is not my home anymore. Too many bad memories. Too many tragedies. I believe we should sell it and move far from here.
I'm afraid selling the house would only lead to another tragedy. I beg you to reconsider your decision.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
Let's see here. Time to talk to Mother. Mother, I crave violence. Mother. Mother, I crave violence. Don't ask me why I'm doing that voice, because I really don't know. Just being a little cookie little one. Cookie little Cal.
It's locked.
Yes, Jonathan. Spending next summer in France. Absolutely. Why not?
Mother, good evening.
Jonathan! Is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Yeah, poor Mary. Also, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Frost fam. I honestly feel really bad for Emmeline. Her mind has been broken because of Mary. Mary used her mesmerize ability on her that Jonathan can use, and it broke her mind to the point where she's now seeing things. I mean, I think it was also included on top of all the stuff that she's gone through with losing Mary losing all of her, like, her husband and her child. And then, you know, Jonathan disappeared, and then he finally reappeared, like... Basically, a lot of tragedy has hit this family, and it's
Mother,
just...
do you know what's
sad.
been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, Thames. And then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
I was attacked, Mother. And I've not been the same since.
The important thing is that you finally returned home. I was worried, you know. You were the last member of the family of whom I had no news. Even Mary comes more often than you.
Alright. I've got to think of a song. Usually people can, like, list a song. That's why I have that. So then, I can look up the lyrics and try to sing it. But I'll think of a song.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Okay, there we go. I did think the... Let's see...
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Do you think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you, but you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I wish I could stay here and take care of you, but I don't belong here anymore. My new home is an empty room, as cold as night and as red as blood.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, your bloody eyes, and that echoing sadness in your voice.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson and my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
So I'll go to in here and I'll sing the song that it's been on my brain a little bit. As a child you hate. I'll wait till the ad break ends before I sing.
I remember Sunday walks in the park.
Aubrey, I'm not sure visiting Italy is a good idea this time of the year.
Alright guys, welcome back from the ads. Now I can sing. I pulled up a song, so we're gonna sing that while we wait for this spy action to take place. As a child you would wait and watch from far away, but you always knew you'd be the one to work while they all play. You'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream.
Spending next summer
Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town from dust. We'll come, I'm come, when you have to rise above the rest and prove yourself. Your spirit never dies.
Your father and I have spoken about your fiancé, Mary. We believe he'll be an honorable husband for you. We'll set a date for the marriage then. That way, I'm sure one of my children will give me grandchildren. I understand your thirst for knowledge, Jonathan, and your father and I are proud of it. But you are not that young anymore, my son. When will I meet your soulmate? You can ascribe my romantic tendencies to my French origins if you want, Aubrey. But I'll never cease to believe in a match made in heaven, my beloved.
I really wish you could meet her, Mother. You would love her.
I think the only thing that's interesting about his quote-unquote soulmates. The fact, well, one thing interesting. A lot of things are interesting about Lady Ashbury. Let me just put it out there. But the fact that I don't know if Jonathan and Ash and I don't know if Ekons can have children. They don't actually talk about it. Like, obviously you can, an Ekon can bite someone and turn someone into a vampire, but I don't know if they can have physical children. They don't explain it, obviously. But I wonder. You should start singing. Yeah, it's Warriors by Imagine Dragons. I actually I do sing occasionally. I have written a few songs, but I don't have the like technology to make my own like background music and stuff. I do have a videos on my TikTok with me singing. The TikTok is in the link tree in my bio, so I also have it linked in my Discord server, which is also linked down below in the description, in my bio in the Discord. I can send the link.
Bring me my glasses. I feel like
anyway,
reading.
we still have some more of the song. Farewell, I've come to take my throne above. Don't weep for me, 'cause this will be the labor of my love. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town from dust.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Tell me what you have discovered about vampires, Clarence.
They've always been here. And if you search for long enough, you realize others know about these devils too. I'm not alone.
Have you shared your research with anybody else?
No. But I've published my leaflets all across the city, hoping that someday someone will realize I'm printing the truth.
What do you mean you're not alone? Who have you met?
The Guard of Prewin, the Brotherhood of St. Paul Stole, Ichabod Throgmorton. Those names always pop up when you dig deep enough.
Have you spoken with any of them?
No. With the quarantine, it's almost impossible to leave the West End. But as a doctor, maybe you could, Johnny.
Are you asking me to help you prove the existence of vampires, Clarence?
Yes, Johnny. Please, gather all the information you can find about vampires and bring it to me. You're the only friend I have left. I need you.
Classes to get your voice. I haven't taken like any. I took a voice class in college, but they only had like. What they did in that voice class, they had you choose 2 songs, and then you'd sing them throughout the class. They didn't but they didn't sit down and teach you how to sing. They taught you breathing techniques and a little bit about your voice, like how to measure your, stuff. But it was different. I have been in choir in high school and in college and a little bit in middle school. So I have been singing my entire life. But I haven't had any professionals sit down with me and teach me to sing, if that makes sense.
Clarence, why have you distributed leaflets about vampires all across the West End?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already, unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are all in danger here.
Vampires in London? Come on, Clarence. Who's going to believe that?
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
Clarence, You've always been a reliable and a good friend to me. If you say you saw a vampire, then I believe you.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for your trust. You don't know what that means to me.
It's all right. But if you want my help, you have to explain exactly what happened.
The first time it was in Rouen. I saw an officer drink the blood of a soldier. I saw its teeth, saw it bite. It was a vampire, Johnny, and they're here too.
Clarence, tell me about the vampire you saw in France.
I was enjoying my leave in Rouen. I left the bar, took a shortcut back to the barracks. I saw it in a back alley. An officer in a stained uniform, biting into a soldier's neck.
But you were drunk, weren't you? Are you sure these two men were not just kissing?
Please don't insult me, Johnny. I hid, and I saw him leave. Then I saw the body, drained of all blood. I've seen the same marks here in London since I've returned.
Did you ever see that officer again?
No. He wore the uniform of the Royal Warwickshire Regiment. I did some research, but found no trace of him. He probably stole it from a previous victim.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.